Which players on the Texans offense should you be excited about watching in the Hall of Fame game against the Chicago Bears in Canton, Ohio? I got a list for you. I got 7 of them. So you're going to have plenty to watch. So get the notepad out and get ready to take notes. I primarily focused on players who are in position battles, either on the depth chart or trying to make sure that they make the team. That was my main focus with picking these 7 players. I'm excited to watch Cade Stover, but I know Cade Stover is on the team, so I don't have to worry about Cade Stover not making the team. These players that we're going to talk about, their positions on the depth chart, their chances to make the team, it is an important one for these players. And let's start at 1 with number 31, Damen Pierce, the running back for the Texans. He is a really important piece to the Texans. There are not a lot of proven running backs. In fact, there aren't any proven running backs behind Joe Mixon. Damen Pierce is among them in that group. But if Damen Pierce was going to be 2022 version, it would feel a little bit better about the running back room. But he has had a couple of nice moments in training camp, but nothing to speak of in the past few practices. So the opportunity here in the Hall of Fame game, a real offensive line, a real defensive line that doesn't know what the offense is going to be doing. Hey, 31's got a chance to showcase what he can do and see if he can capture some of that 2022 success here in 2024. He's at the tippity top of my list, and he's number 1. Damen Pierce is the first player to watch in the Hall of Fame game against the Bears. Player number 2, John Mechie. He's playing after a somewhat successful season last year. I would tell you that last year's season was just okay for John Mechie. Sure, there were high expectations for him, but you had to give that buffer year of last year heading into this year before you really put expectations on John Mechie. And right now, he's embroiled in a battle for the 5th or 6th wide receiver spot on this Texans team. How's Mechie going to look while he's out there? Can he go out there and beat cornerbacks that don't see him every day in practice, that aren't used to his moves, that haven't watched him over and over and over again in practice and in film of practice? Can he showcase some of the explosiveness that we've seen from a time to time in training camp? And can he hold on to the football? He's had a couple of drops in the past few practices. So can Mechie hold on to the football, hold on to his chance to make this roster? He's number 2 on this list for players that you need to watch in the Hall of Fame game against the Chicago Bears. Number 3 on this list, we're sticking at wide receiver. We're sticking in the middle of that competition for that 5 and 6 spot on the roster, Exavier Hutchinson. I actually feel like Hutchinson has performed better in training camp than John Mechie has. He's had a couple of explosive plays from the wide receiver position, even catching one from CJ Stroud in a 2-minute drill situation in practice the other day to kind of set the offense up for a chance to keep things rolling in that 2-minute drill scenario. But Hutchinson was a standout and a stud at Iowa State. And then he kind of found his sea legs last year as a rookie, and no guarantee that he's on the roster here in his 2nd year in the season. But he's performed well in training camp. Let's see him put it together, go out there, catch a couple of passes, and showcase yet again what he brings to the table as a wide receiver. We'll talk about that little extra that's called special teams here in just a few. I'm so excited to tell you about our new friends here on the channel, Prize Picks, the best and easiest way for daily fantasy. Prize Picks makes it so easy, and they give you a chance to 100 times your play in just one single entry. How great is that? How great would that sound? How great does free money sound coming your way? You're going to get Prize Picks bonus credit of $50 when you make your first $5 entry when you use my code STOOTS, S-T-O-O-T-S. That's code STOOTS, S-T-O-O-T-S, or in the link in the description down below. It'll autofill for you. Nice and easy when you get signed up for the first time at Prize Picks. If you've never used them, boy, you're missing out. I don't know what took me so long to figure out about Prize Picks, but I'm glad I found them. It's simply more or less on predicted stats for players. You put them together and you multiply your entry. Boy, it is a lot of fun. It's easy to navigate. You won't be disappointed. PrizePicks.com, promo code STOOTS, S-T-O-O-T-S. When you sign up, we've got an entry for the Hall of Fame game, which I'll show you at the end of this video. Number 4 on this list, still at the wide receiver position, Big Ben Skoranek. Skowronek, to me, should make this team as of right now. 10 training camp practices in the books based on what I've seen, his ability to play all those special teams, and some of the performances he's had at wide receiver. Man, he just feels like an Energizer bunny out there. He never stops moving. He's always going. He's blocking. He's fierce when he gets the football in his hands, trying to run through people. I really like what Ben Skowronek has brought to the table. He added him in the offseason via trade from the LA Rams with the special teams in mind, but actually catching the football, it'd be nice if he could go out there and showcase it against the Bears, put together some offensive usefulness, because you can't make the team on just offense. You can't make the team on just special teams. You've got to be able to contribute a lot if you're going to be on the depth chart. So Ben Skowronek makes my list. He's number 4 on the list. Number 5 on the list, Jawar Jaws Jordan, the running back from Louisville that the Texans drafted in this past draft. I really like what I've seen from Jordan. He's had a couple of really nice moments in camp. There was a practice recently where he kind of just was the best back for the day and had a couple of nice plays throughout the course of that workout. He showcases that vision, the patience, and the adeptness to, I worked on that word and I didn't do it well. He showed the ability to execute the zone scheme for the Houston Texans a bunch in training camp. So let's see it in a game. Let's see it when the blocking is going to be more difficult, when they actually are going to tackle you, when you got to make guys miss. No more arm tackles or anything like that. You got to go out there and get those yards the hard way against the Bears if you are Jawar Jordan. Steven Sims is next on the list. 6 out of the 7 players to watch on offense in the Hall of Fame game. Sims, yet again, like Skowronek and Mechie and Exavier Hutchinson, is in a battle for a spot on this team at wide receiver. And it's a tough battle, and Sims has had some down moments. He has not always showcased good wide receiver ability. A lot of times he showcased his abilities on special teams, but some consistency at wide receiver, catching the ball and not having any drops would go a long way for Steven Sims as he's trying to make this team, as he's trying to work through the battle for that 5th and 6th wide receiver spot on this team. So go out there, showcase a little bit of what you can do at the wide receiver spot. The last name on this list, British Brooks. And I know I think about the British Bulldog, Davy Boy Smith, every time I say British Brooks' name. British Brooks is a little bit of a bruiser. He's a bigger back. He's the biggest back that's going to play in this game. And let's go out there and see him be physical. But hey, he's a bigger guy. He and Jawar Jordan actually look like they play different positions. The size difference is so crazy to see in person. But go out there, showcase some of those nimble feet that we've seen in training camp, where he's been able to kind of wait and pause and then hit the hole and hit the hesitation and, just maneuver enough to get to the hole and where the team has opened up a hole for the players on offense. I want to see British Brooks in there, and I feel like this is a really big opportunity for him, Jawar Jordan, and a couple of those other running backs. Because, look, Pierce, he's at the top of our list. If he showcases enough early, then it's go down the depth chart and find out about the rest of those guys in the running back room. Jordan, we mentioned him, and British Brooks, of course, will get that opportunity as well. With all of these guys, the caveat is added, special teams is going to be important. Is Damen Pierce going to return kickoffs, and how does he do if he gets the opportunity? Same goes with Steven Sims. What's his role in special teams? Is it just punt return? Is it punt return and kick return? Can he showcase some of the stuff that made him a playoff hero for a moment against the Baltimore Ravens? Can he do that here in the preseason game? And then Skowronek and Hutchinson and Mechie and Jawar Jordan and British Brooks, where do they fit in on special teams? Return guys, blockers, coverage guys, can they go out there and do that? All important aspects for those players. So if you didn't have the notebook out, I'll give you the rundown here real quick, and you can put the names and numbers down and have them ready to watch for the game. Number 1, running back Damen Pierce. Number 2, wide receiver John Mechie. Number 3, wide receiver Exavier Hutchinson. Number 4, wide receiver Ben Skowronek. Number 5, running back Jawar Jordan. Number 6, wide receiver and return specialist Steven Sims. And number 7, running back British Brooks. Those are the 7 offensive players I am most excited to watch in the Hall of Fame game. Who are you most excited to watch in the Hall of Fame game? Check it out in the comment section down below and let me know who you are most excited to watch on offense in the Hall of Fame game. Paying off of my promise here, the Prize Picks entry for the Hall of Fame game. Hey, I told you, Prize Picks, super simple. PrizePicks.com or the link in the description down below with the promo code STOOTS, STOOTS, for first-time signups. You're going to get 50 free bonus bucks on your first $5 entry. It's that simple. You just get in there and make your first entry, and I've already got your first entry right here. I mean, look how fantastic and easy this site is to navigate. Again, more or less on predicted stats. Now, this is basketball. We want the NFL preseason. We want this matchup between the Texans and the Chicago Bears. Now, you got your passing yards, your receiving yards. Look how easy it is to navigate all of this stuff. Rushing yards and field goals. Hey, there's only 2 kickers in this one. Here's my matchup for this one. Here's my play. Ben Skoranek, Exavier Hutchinson, more on their receiving yards. Jaws Jordan, more on his rushing yards. And, hey, only 2 kickers in this one, so it's easy to go more for those kickers. A lot of offense in preseason games, and sometimes it ends up at the feet of the special teamers. That's the entry. Sign up with the code STOOTS, STOOTS, STOOTS. The link in the description down below should auto-fill it for you. PrizePicks.com. Easy and the best when it comes to daily fantasy. It's Prize Picks. All right. Hope you enjoyed the video. Appreciate you watching. I can't wait until we talk Texans and talk about a game again soon.